Hello all, and welcome back to Time to Dice Character Creation, where we make your favorite fictional characters in Pathfinder 2nd Edition. Today, we're taking a break from our Disney Simper to cover something a bit old school. And when I say old school, I really mean old school. Like one of the oldest English works we have available. Beowulf is a monster of a man, who basically spends the entire epic poem slaying any monster that crosses his path, from the invulnerable Grendel to the mighty dragon. And if, while you're watching this video, you think to yourself, man, this Beowulf character seems like someone I would like to know more about, then I have good news for you, because this video is made in collaboration with Sidewoods Archive. Sidewoods Archive is a Pathfinder 2e channel, but rather than follow the mold of covering every new class as it drops, they approach the game from a more historical angle. So if that sounds like something you'd be interested in, feel free to check them out. You can find the link in the description and in the upper right hand corner here. They have a video coming out today covering Beowulf and why you should read the epic poem. So, beware of spoilers, and without further ado, let's get started. So what do we need to build this masculine martyr? Well, first off, Beowulf famously defeated Grendel with his bare hands, so we need to make sure that we can throw down without a weapon. But before you start studying monk, remember, Beowulf may not always use a sword, but when he does, he has exceptional proficiency in it. In fact, he's able to slay monsters who are immune to attacks made by any mortal weapons. His skill alone makes the impossible possible. And finally, we need to be able to be just as deadly in water as on land, so that we're able to take out sea monsters on their home turf. Or should I say, their home surf. Beowulf may be able to perform incredible acts, but at his core, he's still a human, proving humanity's curse of making all their fictional characters human persists no matter what the time period. As a human, Beowulf gets 8 hit points, boosts to both strength and constitution to embody his legendary might, and a 25-foot movement speed to charge fearlessly into battle. For his heritage, we're going to use the versatile heritage to pick up the toughness general feat right away, because of course we're going to pair the most common feat with the most common ancestry. Beowulf is as durable as the monsters that he slays. The warrior background might seem simple and a little bit bland, but it's the perfect fit for a hero of Beowulf's caliber. It grants us yet another boost to strength and constitution, as well as training in intimidation and warfare lore, because if there's one thing Beowulf knows, it's combat. This background also provides intimidating glare, letting Beowulf strike fear into his enemies with just a single glance. For our class, we need to be able to defeat monsters that no one else can, almost as if we're on another level of proficiency entirely. Sounds like a fighter to me. This gives us expert proficiency in both fortitude and reflex saves, perfect for resisting poison and dragon's breath. We also get training will saves, though I can't recall any form of mind control in the Beowulf mythos. For skills, we're trained in athletics, a must for Beowulf's feats of strength, and 3 other skills of our choice. When it comes to gear, we're expert in all simple and martial weapons, unarmed attacks, and we're trained in all forms of armor, including no armor at all. We'll start with a +4 in strength. Beowulf feats of strength are legendary, so maxing out this is a no-brainer. Dexterity sits at a +1, reflecting his combat experience, though Beowulf often relies on durability to take hits, rather than to dodge them. Speaking of durability, his constitution is at a +3. Seriously, the attacks this guy lives through are absolutely insane. Intelligence and wisdom are both at 0. Fighting Grendel on his own terms with no armor or weapons may be honorable, but it's not very bright. Finally, charisma is at +1. Anyone Beowulf meets usually ends up throwing a celebration in his honor, so he's clearly well liked. For our skills, we're obviously going to be maxing out athletics and acrobatics to reflect Beowulf's incredible physical prowess. However, also, intimidation will also reach legendary status. After all, Beowulf has a knack for sending monsters running to their mommies. Literally, in Grendel's case. He'll be expert in society, as his 50-year reign as Lord was notably free of any major incidents. And finally, we'll pick up training in both stealth and survival, mostly because we have extra skill increases and I don't know where else to put them. At level 1, we get the standard fighter features. Reactor Strike allows us to punish any foe foolish enough to take a move or manipulate action within our reach, and Shield Block lets us reduce incoming damage, provided we pick up a shield. Thanks to the Ancestry feat, Natural Ambition, we also get 2 class feats right away. Vicious Swing lets us spend 2 actions for a devastating attack that deals about 1.5 times damage of a regular strike without the accuracy penalty of making 2 strikes. Meanwhile, Snagging Strike adds a bit of wrestling flair to our combat style, making a target off guard with a strike as long as we keep them close and keep a hand free. Speaking of wrestling flair, the wrestler dedication at level 2 significantly enhances our ability to grapple with monstrous foes, making it ideal for a hero like Beowulf. This dedication also grants the Titan Wrestler skill feat, ensuring that even enormous creatures are fair game for our prowess. And for our skill feat at this level, let's pick up Underwater Marauder, allowing us to fight underwater without suffering any of the usual penalties. At level 3, we'll get Die Hard, ensuring we can survive to dying 5 instead of dying 4, giving Beowulf the resilience he needs to claim the dragon's treasure even as the dragon's poison takes its toll on his body. We also gain Bravery, increasing our will save proficiency to Expert and granting us an extra edge against fear effects, because no warrior worthy of this epic tale would falter in the face of terror. At level 4, the Elbow Breaker class feat lets us disarm a grabbed or restrained foe with an unarmed attack, perfect for those who want to add another trophy arm to their collection. We also pick up Intimidating Prowess at this level, leveraging our immense strength to give us a bonus to intimidation checks, ensuring our enemies know just how terrifyingly powerful we are. At level 5, we use our Ancestry feat to grab the general feat, Breath Control, letting us hold our breath up to 25 times longer than normal, perfect for those day-long dives to battle sea monsters. We also gain Weapon Mastery at this level, ensuring our proficiency with sword stays a cut above the rest. Get it? At level 6, we take Clinch Strike, a feat that ensures our foes regret ever thinking about escaping our grapples. Now they're stuck in a lose-lose situation, punished for staying grappled, punished for trying to break free. There's really just no escape. On top of that, Slippery Prey lowers the multiple attack penalty for a foe who attempts to grapple us, and eventually we won't face the penalty at all, meaning foes who try to restrain us are in for a bad time. At level 7, we'll pick up Quick Swim, granting us a boost of speed whenever we succeed on a swim check. And once we reach Legendary in Athletics, this feat grants us a swim speed equal to our land speed. This should be more than enough to defeat Brekka, provided we don't run into any distractions. We also get Battlefield Surveyor, giving us a bonus to initiative rolls and weapon specialization, granting us a tad bit more damage. And at level 8, we get Quick Climb, making scaling walls as effortless as swimming with Quick Swim. At this point, no terrain can slow us down. Meanwhile, Crushing Grab adds insult to injury, literally, letting us deal bludgeoning damage equal to our strength modifier every time we grapple a creature. If they weren't regretting it before, they definitely are now. And at level 9, we get to use the Multi-Talented feat to pick up the Exemplar dedication, giving us just a little bit of divinity. The Gleaming Blade icon, specifically, boosts our damage output, as well as giving us a way to deal spirit damage, damaging creatures who are immune to any weapon forged by mortals. At level 9 fighters also get the Battle Hardened feature, increasing their fortitude saves to master, and Resounding Bravery, letting us convert our fears into further fuel for combat. At level 10, we're going to tap into that Exemplar power to choose the Claim Initiate domain, unlocking the Athletic Rush domain spell. This gives us a burst of physical strength once every 10 minutes, perfect for when we need that little bit of extra edge. Additionally, the Combat Climber skill feat ensures that we're never caught off guard while climbing, and we can scale obstacles without needing both hands free. At level 11, we get the Kip Up feat, allowing us to stand up as a free action without provoking any reactions, perfect for staying on our feet and keeping the pressure on our opponents. We also get Armor Expertise and Fighter Expertise, boosting our Class DC and armor proficiency, making us tougher and more resilient in combat. We're practically untouchable at this point, and we still have 9 levels to go. At level 12, we're going to pick up Spine Breaker. This class feat lets us pull a Bane and make an athletics check to turn a grabbed or restrained creature clumsy for a round or a minute on a critical success. This gives us even more control of our enemies, crippling them with absolute precision. We also pick up Powerful Leap, adding an extra 5 feet to our jumps, ensuring we can close gaps or escape at will. Not that we would ever be running away. At level 13, we take the Bounce Back Ancestry feat, allowing us to recover from dying once per day without gaining the wounded condition. In the mythos, Beowulf was rarely brought to the brink of death, but in the more balanced world of Pathfinder, this ensures that we remain heroic even in defeat. And to top it off, we'll get Weapon Legend, elevating our blade proficiency to unparalleled levels, embodying the unmatched skill of the epic hero himself. Have you ever poured everything you have into an attack, only for the DM to smugly declare that the enemy is still standing with 4 hit points left, but that was your last action? At level 14, the Desperate Finisher feat lets us fix that, using our reaction to unleash one final strike at the end of our turn. Perfect for those moments when Dragon Poison might stop us from seeing another round. Additionally, the Battle Cry skill feat ensures that we begin every combat with a roar that sends our enemies quaking in their boots with a demoralize attempt. Level 15 is packed for fighters. The Cloud Jump feat triples our jump distance, letting Beowulf leap into action with heroic flair. Improved flexibility gives us an extra class feat, which we'll use to pick up tactical reflexes, allowing us an extra reaction every round to punish any foes foolish enough to make a move. Greater weapon specialization gives us a significant damage boost, while tempered reflexes elevates our reflex saves to master and upgrades regular successes to critical successes, ensuring we can dodge even the fastest attacks with ease. Level 16 gives us the Flow of War class feat from the Exemplar list, letting us quicken ourselves for a round once per hour, ensuring we can capitalize on every opportunity in combat. Meanwhile, the Rapid Mantle skill feat prevents any embarrassing missteps when clambering on a surface after our heroic leaps and climbs. At level 17, we get the Heroic Presence Ancestry feat. This feat lets us inspire courage in our allies with sheer determination, granting a morale boost and temporary hit points in the heat of battle. We also get Armor Mastery, increasing our armor proficiency to master and making us even harder to take down in combat. Savage Critical at level 18 turns all of our natural 19s into critical hits, just like natural 20s, perfect for heroes whose strikes always seem to land decisively. We also pick up the Quick Jump skill feat, allowing us to make long and high jumps with half the usual time, that being one action instead of two, keeping our movement swift and concise. At level 19, we'll grab the Terrified Retreat skill feat, letting us send lower level enemies fleeing in panic with a demoralizing presence. Meanwhile, the Versatile Legend feature upgrades our proficiency with all martial weapons legendary, making us unmatched with any weapon we wield, not just our sword. And finally, at level 20, we unlock Overwhelming Blow, allowing us to dedicate our entire turn to one single devastating strike. If this attack hits, it automatically counts as a critical hit, and if it would already be a critical hit, it gains the Deadly D12 trait for even more punishing damage. However, this mighty attack leaves us off guard until our next turn, so use it wisely. Oh, and how could I forget? The true cornerstone for this build, the piece de resistance, the mighty, unparalleled skill feat, Hefty Hauler. With this feat, we can carry 2 more bulk than normal. Forget slaying dragons and conquering sea monsters. This is the true pinnacle of power, the ultimate accomplishment every fighter dreams of achieving. Truly, Beowulf has finally reached legendary status. But how legendary is he, I hear you saying? To which I respond, give me a second, I'm getting to the pros and cons now. First off, we are a legendary fighter. And I don't mean that as in we will go down in history, which we absolutely will. I mean that as in we have legendary proficiency with all attacks. While other martials may have trouble hitting an opponent, we'll have trouble not critting. And it's not just strikes we can do either. This build gives us a lot of versatility, allowing us to take down our opponents with raw damage with strikes, or wrestle them to the ground with our legendary athletics checks, mixed with a wrestler dedication for taking down tougher foes. And finally, with plenty of investment into intimidation, we can rest assured that we can demoralize our foes, making them unable to effectively resist our might. This build does kind of have cons, though. For one, we have no range support, meaning flying enemies or enemies that are just faster than us are going to be able to wear us down over time. And that's not actually that hard. We don't really have a lot of defensive options. Sure, we have a lot of hit points, but for someone who always wants to be in the thick of the fight, we don't actually have a lot of ways to reduce incoming damage, especially if we don't pick up a shield. And finally, we're a fighter. And I don't just mean the class. We can really throw down in combat. But outside of combat, we don't have any investment. Like, no diplomacy, no deception. We can demoralize people, but I don't know how far that will get us in politics. Actually, no. Keeping the public scared seems to be an actual great way to win politics, now that I think about it. But regardless, there are some fights that just can't be won with a sword. So for those, use your hands. Thanks for watching this video. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe, tell us who you want to see next, and go check out Sideone's archive. They should have a companion video to this one right now on the channel. So go check it out and make sure you tell them that you came from Time to Dice. Bye!